Guys, whisper it, but whisper it loudly. But FC26 on the Nintendo Switch 2 might just have been saved by the holiday update. My name's Kai, this is CaiLife. It is your home of FC26 on the Nintendo Switch 2, so welcome back or welcome on in. Guys, before we get stuck in, I want to give a big shout out to the YouTube members of the channel. That is Emily, Moose, my beloved Moose, and also Bokane, an absolute legend who's just joined the community. So thank you so much for your CaiLife membership. You get your exclusive emotes, and I'm very, very grateful for your support. But today's video is all about EA Sports FC26 holiday update, the holiday patch, which is being released on all platforms, including the Nintendo Switch 2. And guys, this has got a crucial new update, which might just save everyone who's struggling to find rush matches in Ultimate Team. All right, my friends, so as I say, this is called the holiday update, and these are the pitch notes. Now, let's go through what changes have been made. There's a whole raft of changes to a whole bunch of different modes. So we're going to go through these in the order that they appear. Now, there's a fairly big one, major one, to goalkeeper and goalkeeper AI and goalkeeper manual control. It has mentioned in our November feedback update, we've been looking at your thoughts on goalkeeper movement and the impact it has on the game. Here's the change we're making with the holiday update. They have greatly reduced the movement speed and amount of ground covered when using manual goalkeeper movement in open play. So if you might use this already, maybe you don't, but if you have ever come up against someone when you're playing Rivals or Weekend League or whatever it is, and you go to shoot and suddenly their goalkeeper seems to cover the area that you're looking to shoot into. So usually this will happen if you're looking to line up a finesse shot into the far corner or even a low driven shot. You'll see the goalkeeper suddenly just like wander towards the center of the goal and leave a massive gap at the near post, which you will more often than not aim at because you're aiming for the far post. That's because of people using manual control. So depending on the platform you're on, if you're on the Nintendo Switch 2, if you double tap X, what will happen is that will move the goalkeeper towards the center of the goal. You might not have known that. I rarely ever use it, but that's what's happening there. On PlayStation 5, obviously that's triangle. If you double tap triangle, that happens, etc., etc. They are nerfing that goalkeeper movement and probably also goalkeeper movement from corners. Now you're going to get to see what that looks like then. So it says here, goalkeeper movement is designed to give you another strategic way to defend goal scoring opportunities. So while we recognize it has felt inauthentic and we don't want players to overly rely on the mechanic, we want to allow a level of control in keeper positioning. Here's a before and after look at the change. So here we go. So this is before. And here's after. So if you notice, before, see how the goalkeeper moves to the goalkeeper's right to cover that shot? Now that's been nerfed. You'll see that the same shot or a similar shot, the goalkeeper doesn't make that movement, doesn't take those steps to his or her right. So that's been nerfed. Now, that's kind of great. But what does it kind of mean for further down the road, January and beyond? Well, they're probably going to nerf finesse shots. They're probably going to nerf finesse shots because if you look at this, finesse shot covered by the keeper. Now finesse shot goes in. So finesse shots are now going to be OP. I mean, arguably they were pretty strong anyway. Maybe not OP, but pretty damn effective. Now you're going to get goals way more often than not. So expect to see a nerf for finesse shots after this patch. Here we go. We're also removing the goalkeeper rush to center mechanic from open play because we've seen that it can be used as another method of goalkeeper movement that further reduces goalkeeper authenticity. So in fact, that whole thing that I said at the beginning, that didn't even relate to this. This was just AI goalkeeper movement. So this was happening from the AI, but they've completely removed that double tap rush to center mechanic. That's now gone. So you won't see that when you're coming up against players now. So my God, finesse shots and any shots across the keeper, yeah, you're going to get a bounty of goals, I imagine. First time shots. We've heard your feedback that goalkeepers don't always deal with first time shots as well as they should. And we've also seen this reflected in our internal data. In this update, we're also addressing an issue that sometimes caused goalkeepers to react poorly to first-time shots. Now, that's an interesting one. I wonder whether it will make a difference from cutbacks. Maybe, because obviously one of the OP mechanics to score from is you run down the wing, you cut the ball back, first time shot, you score. Maybe goalkeepers have been given a buff to react to those cut back, pull back, first time shots. Let's see. Okay, career mode, whole bunch of changes in career mode. So, added a new field and squad hub indicating players' willingness to extend their contracts. A new tab in the Manager Live hub to streamline starting a new live start point and Manager Live save. In-menu preview for mascots in the Create Your Club flow. There's also been a change to archetypes. It says here, player archetype preview tile now displays. But in clubs, there's been a increase to the max level of archetypes. So, increasing the club's archetype max level from 60 to 75. You'll also be able to use your XP instant boost up to level 40, which is up from 25. That's a big increase. Update also includes a new customizable playstyle slot and introduces a signature playstyle that upgrades into playstyle plus once you hit level 75. Here is the big thing that we need to talk about. This could be the thing that provides a whole load of relief for those of you that have been struggling to get rush matches on your Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch 1. And this is what it is. It is Rush Rematch. We're introducing a new rematch function in Ultimate Team Rush that allows you to vote to opt in and keep playing rush matches with your current group. Opting in will take your group forward in a new lobby together, while players who have opted out will return back to the Rush Ultimate Team menus. If a player in a full group doesn't choose to opt in before the timer expires, their full group return back to the lobby. So, we all know that finding rush matches on Ultimate Team has been the scourge of playing on the Nintendo Switch 2 or the Nintendo Switch 1. And I've made loads of videos, mentioned this so often in so many different videos. And when there's a spike in player count, like with the release of the game, and of course, it's 50% off at the moment on Amazon and loads of other regions. And listen, loads of people will be getting it for Christmas. Those are the times to play the rush matches because listen, it unlocks the transfer market. You need to be able to play those matches. This goes a long way because I know that there have been so many people in so many different regions who manage to maybe find like one game and then they have to go through the process all over again. Guys, this is going to be a godsend. It means that if you get into a match, you finally manage to make it into a match, then all of you will be able to just play immediately again, which is so good. It's so good, guys. It's so good. It's such a perk. It's maybe a bit of a shame that this part, that if one player in a full group doesn't choose to opt in, the full group will be returned back to the lobby. So I don't know if that means that essentially if one player doesn't opt in, then you have to do the matchmaking process all over again individually. I'm not sure. Or if it's just saying that the remainder of the group will return back to the lobby. I don't know. But I get the feeling that if one person doesn't opt in, it breaks the whole thing apart. But knowing how precious it is to find a group of 8, right? So 3 other teammates and then 4 opponents. I get the feeling that so many people will just hold on to what they've got and opt in and do a rematch. So this could be a huge turning point in what has been a really troublesome element of FC26 so far. We've got Classic 11 in Kickoff. So this holiday update will introduce a selection of classic teams in Kickoff and Kickoff Rush, relive former glories with iconic European clubs, or play with an assortment of legendary figures with Classic 11s from Europe's biggest leagues. That is so cool. That is so fun. And I love that it's in Kickoff because that is something that even if you're struggling to matchmake online in Ultimate Team, it's much easier to play a kickoff game. So we're going to be doing some community Classic 11 kickoff matches, and I can't wait. It's going to be really fun, especially if you don't want to play Ultimate Team, but you do want to play with some iconic players. Then this is a chance to do that in a way that you don't need to unlock anything. It's just going to be there available from the menu, from the main menu. So this is going to be awesome. So look out for that. We're going to be doing some classic matches on stream with CaiLifers, so I can't wait for that. Another massive point here, another massive thing that is just contested from week to week across the world. AI defending status update. We've seen your feedback around AI defending, especially some concerns that it can feel too strong in certain situations, and we'll continue to look into it closely. Our teams are actively testing further AI defending adjustments internally. We'll keep listening to your feedback and plan to share and update what we find or make a change if needed in early January. In fairness to EA, they have been very good at monitoring the community, not necessarily so good at all at monitoring specifically the Nintendo Switch 2 and 1 communities, but generally they have been giving a lot of attention to the game sort of across all platforms. But like I say, we could be getting more specific attention on the Nintendo Switch 2. Hopefully it'll come. Starting with the fact that we're always late to get these big updates and the title updates. But anyway, it's good to see that EA Sports are addressing this because AI defending is still massively a thing. Expect a festive transformation across the game's menu. Okay, so there we go. From the moment the game launches with falling snow and more. I really hope that doesn't create a performance hit on the Switch 2. Jesus. Guys, let me know what you think about the holiday update. Are you looking forward to these changes? Do you also think that the Rush Rematch edition is going to be an absolute savior for us who are struggling to find those rush matches, or do you think it might just not have that much of an effect? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what of these features and updates you're most looking forward to, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you know what to do. Take care, much love. Yes, peace out.